Yo, MDPthatsme, and welcome to a speed CC/tutorial. Today we are doing the surplus pants or something like that. I forget. Right now we are exporting from Blender into Milkshape. We're renaming group base, rename, exporting it so we can use the mesh toolkit. Made a Sims 3 baby, pulling in the Sims 3 mesh that we used as a reference. Now we're going to change the bone assignment and export it as Sims 3 mesh. Make sure the vertex weights are on. Now we're going to re-import it over the Sims 3 mesh. Rename bones unticked. I'm going to delete that. And now we're going to move the arms. Here's a cheat sheet. I've been messing with the joints to see more precise. That way you don't have to keep moving the arms. Playing around with it, and this is what so far I have made adjustments to. Doing the other side. It's important that they're level and even. Alright, renaming it group underscore base, exporting it back. I'm using a different reference with Sims 2 than I have previously because I want to see if I can find a way to make the shoulder area better. So this particular one is a EAxis mesh that has a vest that I used recently, and I wanted to see if it would help with the shoulder area. And so far I've found that it has with the last two meshes I've done. And now we're exporting it. Make sure the vertex weights are clicked, bringing it back into Milkshape over the Sims 2 mesh. Rename bones unchecked. Alright, we skip forward a little bit. And I kept the body in turn. I'm going to make it up top because I've decided that I don't like the pants. But right now we're deleting the Sims 4 skin, and this is all sped up that way you're not just droning with me here with the little vertexes. I'm going to be adjusting the textures, and I'll do this a few times throughout this video because Sims 4, right, it has like where the skin area and the shirt meet, it's not where the vertices are, so I have to make some adjustments to match a oval shape here, which is a little bit difficult with as many vertexes as there are. But I have the Sims 2 body here, and I had imported in, but I'm not going to actually use it. I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to export one in later that is the same shape as the neck area, so I get more round area. Here I am deleting the vertices of the pants. Here I am actually going to show you how to do this division when there's not one in the middle. You're going to use the divide edge technique. That way you can get one in the center and delete it. That way you don't have that problem anymore. Or you can select it as a face. That's another way to do it. Select the face and just delete the face. Okay, here I'm doing reverse vertexes. That way I can have it not be invisible underneath. In which I actually did this out of order. I should have done this after I had fixed the normals with the black spots of doom, because having the extra underlayer makes it worse. But oh well, live and learn. Checking bone assignments, making sure that they're good. Going out. Here's me pulling in the previous mesh I had done that has a similar neckline, and delete the other body and just use that. Check the bone assignments again. Now I'm going to shape it back to the neckline. And the mesh I had imported in was, I believe, the V t-shirt or short, something like that. It's just the regular base game t-shirt from The Sims 4. It had an oval neckline. Alright, connecting all the neck vertices to the skin vertices. And now we're going to start working on the wrist area. I forget right here to adjust the textures on the wrists, but I will remember later to do that. Just connecting the other side. And it's a lot of tiny dots. I know it's kind of hard to see, but that's just something that you learn with experience of where it could be. And, you know, I played around a lot with just finding where everything is. Here I'm going to be adjusting textures again. I do this quite often throughout. There's some that I didn't even show because I've messed with it so much. Here I'm checking the butt to make sure that it doesn't clip through, and that was a Sims 4 mesh that I had imported in. I was checking the front and the back to make sure the butt didn't go through, and also the front, because Sims 2 pants meshes are more towards the front. Here we are working on the black spots of doom. As you can tell, is atrocious. I'm not going to show you everything here. This is just showing, I write down what the normal X, Y, Z are, and then I re-enter them in there with the manual editor. And here you can see the final product. You can see that timestamp difference. I had actually taken a 6-hour break because it was that frustrating. Here we are exporting the morphs using the mesh toolkit. We're bringing it back in. We delete what we don't need. I actually decided not to actually do the skin, do morphs with it. You'll see that I just contour the fat morph to the regular top skin. That was my cheat sheet of. I have a cheat sheet that way I don't have to keep importing, exporting the morphs and stuff that way. I just copy and paste the text. It's a little notepad file and it works fine. I'm adjusting vertices here because usually it's a very wonky, but this jacket itself is already pretty wonky, so I didn't have to make as many adjustments as I usually have to do to the fat morph and preg morph. But it can be a little tedious. Of course, they're not perfect, but you know, what is. Here I am going to be adjusting the vertices of the fat morph to the regular top The Sims 2 skin. I decided to do that just because it was barely moved, and I just thought, well, it's not exaggerated, so I could just move it to be just like it. Now I don't have another morph for no reason. Also, I didn't have to re-export into Mesh Toolkit and go through a bunch of unnecessary steps. Just finishing up the morphs. Here's the preg. Checking to make sure that the wrists are all connected correct. They are. Or actually, this is the fat morph stuff. I thought I clicked on the preg. Easy peasy, mac and cheesy. Okay, checked it all. Now I'm bringing in the Sims 2 skin to adjust the wrist. I told you I remembered. And all that was an exported skin texture in Body Shop that I had used in materials. Alright, now we are on Body Shop. We skip forward in time quite a bit because it takes a while for my Body Shop to load. Just re-importing and exporting. Opening SimPE after. I'm copying the mesh name bringing in the exported Sims 2 mesh that I had used from Body Shop, renaming it, saving it. Now I'm linking it. This is extremely fast forward, by the way, with SimD because it is slow. Putting the right textures. And back in the Body Shop we go. I'm checking to make sure the Sims 2 pants fit good, and it looks pretty good. Named it. I'm doing the textures now. Which I think there are only 5 textures on this mesh. And really the textures from this Sims 4 mesh are really bad. Like, I was studying it in game and they did an awful job, honestly. Maybe I'll fiddle with it later. Let's see what it is. I deleted the mesh I didn't need anymore. Now I'm renaming with the clean installer. And I'm going to put it in a folder and I'm going to package, and there we go, in game.